We will be learning the 18th Shloka today. This is one of the most important shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita and forms the basis for the path of Karma Yoga. Are you ready to chant and learn it?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay then, repeat after me. Karmanya karma yaha pashyet,
Karmanya karma yaha pashyet,
akarmani cha karma yaha,
akarmani cha karma yaha,
sabuddhiman manushyeshu,
sabuddhiman manusyeshu,
sayukta kritsna karma krita.
sayukta kritsna karma krita.
Great. Let's chant it together now.
Karmanya karma yaha pashyet, akarmani cha karma yaha, sabuddhiman manusyeshu, sayukta kritsna karma krita. What does Krishna say?
Here, Krishna says, one who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is wise among men. Though performing all kinds of actions, he is a yogi and master of all his actions.
What kind of riddle is that? And what does he mean by seeing inaction in action and action in inaction? Shouldn't a wise person be someone who sees things exactly as they are and not the opposite of what they are?
It is a little puzzling, isn't it? Let's break it down and try to understand the meaning of this shloka. First, we look at what Krishna means by seeing a karma in karma. We already learnt about karma in the last few shlokas. Do you remember what karma is?
Yes, karma means our actions. The thought or the motive behind our actions and the result of our actions. But how do we see akarma in karma?
To do any action, we use our body and mind, right? For example, if you're playing the piano, you're using your eyes and ears to see and hear the notes, and your fingers to play. Your mind is also working to understand the notes, remember the melody, analyze the rhythm, etc. But there is another part of you, at your very core, which even through all your activity remains inactive. It is an unchanging witness to your actions, steady and balanced in all situations. Do you know what this inactive part of you is that I'm talking about?
I don't know. Wait, I get it. You're talking about the Atman. It's like the example of electricity you gave earlier. A fan moving or a bulb shining is the action, and the electricity within them is the Atman. The electricity isn't doing the action, but it's the source of the action.
Exactly. Krishna calls that person wise who can be completely immersed in action with his body and his senses and yet remain undisturbed and steady at his core. Even through all his activities, such a person is aware of the Atman or self within, which enables all action but is neither the doer of the actions nor the enjoyer of the results of the actions. The Atman is unattached to the activity of the body and the senses. It does not desire success or fear failure. It is simply a witness or a sakshi to all our actions, thoughts and emotions. Seeing a karma in karma or seeing inaction in action is the awareness of this inactive self in all our actions. Let me give you another example. When you walk, the body is performing the action of walking, and the body's shadow moves along with it. The shadow is not doing the action. It is not attached to where you're walking to, how slow or fast you're walking, or how long it takes for you to reach your destination. In this example, the shadow is the akarma or inaction in the action of walking.
Okay, now I understand the part about how you see a karma in karma. But what about the second half of the shloka? How do you see action in inaction?
Choosing not to act in a certain situation is also an action. That inaction is a result of a desire or thought to not act. For example, Arjuna's inaction in the war was a rejection of action because of his thoughts and emotions at that time. But even rejection of action is an action in itself. There is another way to think about this. Sometimes it may seem that there is no activity from the outside, but there may be lots of action happening on the inside. For example, when we sow a seed, it may take weeks to sprout, but in that apparently inactive period, there is tremendous action happening inside the seed. You talked about dreaming while sleeping in the last episode. That is another example of action in inaction. So even in inaction, there is always action.
Okay, let me see if I can summarize. The one who sees the inactive self in all of his actions and who sees that choosing not to act is also an action is called wise.
Yes, and Shri Krishna ends the shloka by saying that such a person is a master of all his actions. This will be explained further in the next few shlokas. We will learn them next time. It's time to go to the meaning of this shloka now.
Okay, let's go to the meaning.